enthusiasts, and welcome to Scaled Affairs, the show where I try to rationalize my purchases while trying to fight buyer's remorse by presenting you a review of various anime figures. So be my guest and welcome today's figure on the turntable. Nendoroid number 2241, Dorothy Haze from the bartender simulation Valhalla. Like Jill, she also comes to you in this heavily stylized black box with cyberpunk aesthetic. It's also the same inlay, and next to a normal Nendo, the package definitely looks different, but maybe it's also a bit too dark and moody to really stand out. Inside the box we can find our little android embedded in your typical plastic blister with a top cover. It houses all the extra parts and only the base plate and the mounting crane is taped to the back side. Pretty standard, but I had the strange impression that certain parts of the blister felt a bit thinner and flimsier. Maybe they now start to cheap out on those parts as well? Because let me tell you, this small figure of Dorothy must be one of the faultiest and cheap feeling Nendos I ever had to deal with. But before I will elaborate on this any further, let's take a closer look on some of her specs as well as all the extra parts she comes with. When the release of a second Valhalla Nendo was announced, I was quite surprised because I really didn't see it coming. I thought last year's Jill was just a token representation for the series and we will never hear from it again. Sadly, the second entry has major quality issues, well, at least my copy has. First of all, the head parts and the face plates have barely any grip. From the 3 plates, only one of them has that satisfying feel of new Nendo friction when you push it into the back of the head. Besides that, the head pin that has a long side and a short side for some reason doesn't provide enough strength to keep the head secure in place. Sure, it will not tumble down on its own if she is standing on a shelf, but if you start to tilt the head in any direction, it easily ends up detached from the body. Some of this might be an individual problem with this figure, but in my opinion the shorter pin side that goes inside the torso is not sufficient. I also tried to turn it around, but the hole in the neck is simply not deep enough to fit the longer side of the pin. So maybe you can write in the comments if you have similar issues. What's also a bit annoying is that Good Smile doesn't provide you with those white rings on Dorothy's extra arms, and if you want to swap them you must manually switch those tiny parts as well, so good luck finding them again if you accidentally drop them onto the floor. Finally, but this is more a style choice and not a quality issue, if you remove those white, I guess teddy-shaped earpieces, there remain 2 gaping holes. I know the character has those as well, but at least on all the sprites it's black or dark red colored to give the impression of a groove. Also, I always interpreted this part of the headgear as a different colored panel and not just a rectangular pit. The way it looks now without the ears, someone who doesn't know the character surely must think there is something missing. Since I used Good Smile's new Europe shop site for the first time instead of buying my Nendos locally, I received her pre-order bonus as well. Sadly, those are just 2 random ones that don't belong to Dorothy specifically, because other than her included hands, those don't have the mechanical looking details on their mold. This special hand and limb form is one of the only design details on display and something I didn't really expect to see. The paint job is solid, but if you compare it to the prototype pictures, there could have been more blush on her standard face. Speaking of faces, Dorothy also comes with a big smile and closed eyes for her sitcom style entries, and with this love-struck face with heart-shaped pupils. Both are solid alternatives that can be used on other characters as well. The big ticket accessories for her are a variant skirt that really only comes in handy to recreate this pose, and even with this special molded piece she can only imply to pull up her skirt, and this tiny little version of a piano woman. Unlike Jill's cocktail glass, this one can be separated from the hand that holds it and the liquid inside is not removable. This makes the item much more versatile in my opinion. All things considered, I only can recommend this Nendo for die-hard fans of the game, simply because there aren't many other options. And even then you might have to live with some flaws in design and build quality. It's sad to see that so little love went into this niche character. I know she can't stand dogs, but why wasn't there at least a red Shiba included when Jill had her cat pet? I mean, maybe they plan on expanding this lineup even further with a Dina Nendo or maybe Alma, but honestly I wouldn't count on it. But after that pop-up L announcement of a Jill figure, I honestly don't know what to think or believe anymore when it comes to their release plans. Next time another long-awaited review I promised months ago. Until then, Thanks for watching, and hopefully we can see each other again in a new episode of Scaled Affairs when I once again take a closer look on anime figures of all sorts. Take care out there and keep having fun collecting.